So, how can you own investment properties without the headaches of being a landlord? So, what we're going to be talking about today on Home Matters. My special guest, Kyla Feeney, is here on Zoom, as I guess most of our meetings have been recently, or most of our interviews have been recently. And we're going to be talking a little bit about what it means to have a property manager and what exactly they do. Well, welcome, Kyla.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Great. So, maybe to start off, you can give us an idea of what a property management company does.
It's a good question. So typically a property manager is there to assist you with the smooth running of your investment property. Everything from leasing, tenant placement, to rent collection, and then the ongoing maintenance of the property.
Great. As a small investment owner, why would I need a property management company? What's the benefit for me?
So a property manager is essentially a financial planner for your real estate investment. And that's whether you own one property or multiple. We look at everything. We analyze your cash flow, your cash to cash return, preserve and grow your asset with the end goal of basically increasing your return on investment.
A lot of times I have investors will tell me, oh, well, they know how to do some of the jobs themselves. They can do some plumbing, they can do a little handy carpentry, that sort of thing. And I always talk to them about, well, how much do you make per hour? What is your time worth? And that's where the question comes up of, is it worthwhile to do the work yourself or have somebody else do it? So what are the things that you do to help save investors time and money when it comes to owning properties?
Well, right, time is money, essentially. So a lot of times people think they can save themselves, money by doing a lot of the projects themselves. And we often find the opposite is true. The first thing we do is when we go into a new property is do a rent analysis of the property, and this pulls rents from the surrounding area and gives us an idea of where the rent rate should be. And oftentimes we find in the do-it-yourself, it tends to be a lot lower market rate. So, right off the bat, okay, we've just covered our increase for management fee by increasing rental rates and getting them at market rate, which also increases the value of your property too. When you turn around and sell a property with rental rates at market, it's a bigger asset.
You find that frequent that people, that people do undercharge for rent?
We find that a lot. Yeah. That and renting to relatives, which that's a different topic altogether.
Yeah.
But so the other component from the time is money. A lot of times, especially with the market as far as the trades go at the moment, anybody that's tried to contact a plumber or an electrician recently has discovered it's difficult, and they've got a backlog of people waiting for them. Whereas a property management company, we've got relationships that are established with these vendors. So when we call, we tend to be pushed to the front of the line. So that means your property is also pushed to the front of the line. So you get some buying power, and you're not spending your valuable time on the phone chasing after, and we also know that we're hiring reputable. We're not just taking a stab in old yellow pages. I'm dating myself here, but we have an established relationship with somebody that's a quality vendor. And we have our wonderful in-house maintenance person too, so that helps.
Imagine maintenance is one of those things you don't always think about, especially if you have a couple of properties.
I always say that a service call in the fall prior to winter is a lot cheaper than an emergency no heat call in January, because not only are you paying for the, the HVAC guy doing double time, because it always happens on a Saturday after hours. It does not happen Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. That doesn't happen. So,
I'm not going to get that 10 o'clock emergency call that there's no heat.
right, exactly. And at that point in time, you have a very unhappy tenant too. So your human component comes into your cost savings.
So if I decide I wanted to hire a property management company, what advice can you give me in terms of, how do I find a good one and somebody that I know I can trust?
That's a good question. So, like a lot of things, recommendations are fantastic. If you happen to know another investor that has a property management company that they're happy with, that's a great resource. Google is fantastic. We get a lot of people inquiring from Google, and because now so many ratings and reviews. I would say the one component of that is just be a little leery of tenant reviews. Sometimes when a tenant has done something wrong, they like to put it back on the management company or the landlord. So just be leery of that. But once you do find somebody that you think meets all of your requirements, just make sure you're looking over the contract carefully. The guy that's charging 6% versus the guy that's charging 10%. The 6% might sound like a great deal, but when you look at the contract a little bit more closely, you're not getting as much, or there are a lot more sort of hidden fees involved. So it's do your due diligence on that side of things, I would say.
So it sounds like property managers can be a way to save you money and not cost you. If you're looking to invest in a piece of real estate and not necessarily wanting to be a landlord, it's a good way to sort of move forward. So I want to thank my special guest, Kyla, for coming on and talking to us a little bit today. And if you have any additional questions, my name is Dave Heeter. This is Home Matters, and thank you for watching.